إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الحبيب المصطفى صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وعلى من تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. آمين. Dear brothers and sisters everywhere, whoever listening to my humble tapes, this is the lesson number 20 of Usool al-Fiqh in English, in the English language, and we are at almost at the end of the declarative rulings, and at the fifth one of the declarative rulings, which is the ruling of validity and invalidity of rulings. الصحة والبطلان. الصحة, validity, and بطلان is invalidity, because what happens is that everything a human being all the acts of humans, acts of animals are uncategorized. So you can't say it's valid or invalid, but the acts of humans are all of them are categorized as either valid or invalid. This is in ibadat, in worship actions, and in muamalat, in dealing actions. Except in one thing, which is the actions where a person is not mukallaf, is not responsible for his action, like sleeping, or somebody is fainted, or mad, crazy person, or this kind of or under coercive action. So then the actions of the human has another way of categorizing. It's also valid and invalid, but it has there are some other factors that would interfere in the categorization of such actions. Now, there are when we talk about valid actions, when it comes to worship actions, it's the action can be valid either in this dunya or in the hereafter. So the action is valid in dunya, provided that it meets all the conditions, and and there are no preventer to it. So if it happens in this way, then the action, we call it valid. So all the legal conditions are met, and this action is either in worship, then it is the worship itself, when it is valid, sahih, it means that you, like in prayer, you made the wudu, you had the niyyah, and you enter with Allahu Akbar, the arkan, all the arkan are complete, then your salah is sahih. in action is valid. Your salah is valid. So you don't repeat it. It is out of your own obligation. You fulfilled your obligation. But for worship actions, the whether there is another factor here or dimension, which is not being valid, being accepted. So al-qabul. So whether it is maqbool or not, it depends on what kind of niyyah you had, whether you did it like in the right way or in the wrong way, whether you did like for Maghrib 3, not 4 or not. So you might have the parts of the prayer itself done in a correct way, but it might not be accepted. It might be, and it can be accepted with, there are levels of acceptance, whether it is just maqbool or it is excellent, or this we only know at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only is the judge of this acceptance. No one can judge the acceptance of a worship act of a human being. So in worship actions, there are the validity and the correctness of the act itself. And so the thawab that comes with your action, if you do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like praying, like fasting, the thawab, it comes with al-qabul, not with as-sihha, not with being valid, but being accepted. And this, like I said, it's when we stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, will tell us whether our actions are accepted or not. But in dunya, like I said, if you do the pillars and the conditions, then it is valid. Now, what about dealings, al-muamalat? In al-muamalat, like buying, selling, divorce, all actions or dealings and of the human being in muamalat, in transactions, any kind of transactions, any kind of contracts, this kind of thing. Again, if it is done according to it's the same thing. If it's done according, if all the pillars, like in buying, in contract to buy and sell, all the conditions are met in the contract, the willing of the buyer and the seller, and the clear intent exists, and the goods are presented, and or the power of delivering the goods exist, and the price is set, then the contract is valid. Like in marriage, the contract is valid when the two parties, the man and the woman, express their acceptance, and the wali of the woman say that she accepted, or she can say it's accepted if she is a widow or married before or something like that, according to some madhab like Ahnaf, and also the mahr is named, and there are two witnesses. So if this is complete, then the contract is and there is no preventer to having the contract in place. as well, not only to meet the condition, but also not to have a preventer. And we are going to discuss this in more detail at the end. So then the contract, the marriage contract, is accepted. The question here is whether in the dealings in transactions and contracts and buying and selling and marriage and all these things, does it have a thawab as well when you do it when you do it in a valid way, like the right way? Does it have a thawab? Well, it depends here. It depends here on your niyyah. So if you want to buy a car, so you go, you do the right contract, everything is okay, and you buy the car in order to enjoy it and to use it for your daily life and all these things and everything. So the contract is valid and everything. But if you add to that you are buying this car, you say to yourself in your niyyah, I am buying this car not only just to have the benefit of using it, but this benefit I will try as much as I can to do it in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to be done. So I'm going to get my family whatever they need using the car, because Allah wants me to take care of them. I will help my family because Allah told me to take them to school, or to earn money. So I go to work in order to earn money because of the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to support my family. So this car will help me in carrying out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands. Then even this contract has a thawab, as if it's a worship act. So if you accompany your transactions in dunya with this niyyah, then every action you have will have thawab, as if it's like salah or prayer or fasting or this kind of thing. So it is according to your maqsad, your aim, your goal of doing of carrying out the contract. So if you do that, then you have. If you say, well, I'm getting married, and you get married and you go enjoy your wife and stuff like that, and this is one thing. The other thing is your intention is, I want to marry in order to preserve my purity, and I get away from sin, and in order to have kids, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants Muslims to be even more and more, and to establish a family and stuff like that, then you have a thawab in this transaction. It's even when one sleeps with his wife. If a person sleeps with his wife with the intention that he is doing this in order to preserve his pureness and make his wife also satisfied, and not to think about bad stuff and things, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to get away from sin, to prevent us from sinning, you and her, then it is thawab, even sleeping with the wife. Like in hadith, في بضع أحدكم صدقة. In the البضع is the mani, in the semen. There is a sadaqah in your bid'ah. They asked Rasulullah, how ya Rasulullah, we have sadaqah in this, we do it and we enjoy it. He said, don't you see that if you put it in the wrong way, you would have had a sin? He said, yeah. He said, then when you put it in the right way, in the valid way, then you have a thawab. So this is where we say, okay, that the actions are considered to be valid and accepted, and we have also sawab for it. So that's for validity. What about invalid, which is the opposite of validity? Of course, ibadah can be in worship. Ibadah can be invalid if you miss a condition. If you didn't have niyyah, if you didn't make wudu, or rukn, you forgot to say Allahu Akbar in the beginnings, then it's invalid. Like if you enter Ramadan and without the intention that this is Ramadan and you're fast, and you wake up in the first day fasting, you're not fasting that day. So because you have to have the niyyah in the beginning that Ramadan is coming and I am fasting this Ramadan. One time in the beginning is enough in the Sahih madhab, in most of the madhab. If you pray in a stolen land, or a stolen cloth, if somebody it is not accepted from that person, because there is a condition, a preventer that prevents it from being accepted. And like we said before, this preventer can be from inside or from outside. It can be attached to the act, like niyyah or takbirat al-ihram. This is attached to the action, to prayer, or detached from the action, like praying in a thawb, because you can always take off the thawb, and it becomes correct. So in muamalat, in transactions and dealings like buying and selling and marriage and stuff, it is either invalid or invalid transaction. Of course, again, it's the same. If there is a missing condition or a missing rukn, the goods you have, it's not there, and you don't see the power to bring it, or the buyer doesn't have the money, or any of the conditions, and or the rukn is not is invalid, or the contract has a clause of riba or something. This all, then it's invalid. Now, Ahnaf had a third category other than valid and invalid. They said it's valid, yes. Invalid, they said invalid has two categories or two levels of invalidity. One is invalid, complete, like the Jumhur, which is null. It doesn't have any it doesn't invoke any action to having it or signed or something like that, or fasid. Fasid means the fasad, to start with in language, it's rotten or corrupt, or fasid is like not like I said, like it's a corrupt action. So or defective, like the action is defective. There is a defect in the action itself. Although corrupt maybe it's closer to the meaning than defective, because it is corrupt, it's fasid. But corruption here doesn't Does it make it completely null or not? It depends. Al-Ahnaf said that some contracts, when they categorize it as invalid, it is invalid. So there is no consequence to be built or to happen based on that contract. But if it is defective or corrupt, then there might be some consequence that can actually be considered in the contract. So the contract does not get dismissed right away, like the bottled, like the invalid. They look at what defect it has. Like they said, if a marriage happened, the wali there, the two people are there, but there was no two witnesses. There are no there's no two witnesses. They were not present. And then the contract happened, and the man and the woman went and had their relationship, their intimate relationship already. So they said, well, what is the point of invalidity here? I mean, yeah, there is something bad that happened, which is, or wrong, which is the invalidity. The one of the conditions was not met. But if we say it is batil, it is invalid, and we separate them, then the woman will be in harm. It will be harmed much more than not having the two witnesses. So these two witnesses here can be overlooked for the benefit of the woman, not to be harmed, because it's already بنى عليها. بنى عليها الرجل means he already had sex with her, and if she's separated now, it will be very hard for her coming life to get married again or something like that. So, but with Ahnaf, if rukn is missed, like one of the two parties, the man or the woman, did not express his clear willing to acceptance of the contract, this is invalid. This is not defective. This is invalid. It's invalid because the condition that wasn't present at the time is from the outside of the pillars. It is not one of the pillars. So if it is a condition like shart صحة, like if you remember the condition, we said there is shart صحة, a condition to make it correct or valid, and shart kamal, a condition to make it perfect. Which is like to make it perfect, like to announce not only the two shahid and the wali, no, to announce, to have the party, this is shart kamal, because the marriage has to be announced, be known. So that's what actually the Ahnaf put as the Ahnaf put as. So the Ahnaf, they made this kind of dealings defective, and it either can be continued, like this marriage contract we talked about, or sometimes it can be it can get null, and he is the husband can make a new contract with the right, with the shuhud, with the witnesses. So and this considered never happened. It didn't happen. This contract did not happen. So what about the consequences, the athar, the thawab in akhirah, thawab or iqab or punishment? What in akhirah, like we said, if it is invalid, there is no thawab. But like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. O you believe, do not invalidate your charity with reminders or hurtful words. So invalidate, when we do that, when we give money to somebody, say, here is your sadaqah from me. When we say that, we right away invalidate this sadaqah. It has no thawab in akhirah for us whatsoever. The person will take it and use it, but no thawab, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this invalidate. It's invalid right away. As well in transaction, if these transactions were batil, like there is a riba clause, or there is something that makes it batil, invalid, or make it fasid, make it defective, or it was done in order to only to satisfy the desire of the person, not because it actually meets the goals and aims of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the Sharia, to put, then it has no consequence, it has no thawab in akhirah. It's only going to, if the contract is not correct, you might get the car you bought, or you might live with the woman, yes, but or the contract you do with riba, like you see everybody, like here in this country, they buy with riba, even Muslims, like mostly they buy with mortgage and stuff, and they live in the house like anybody who didn't take mortgage live, and but there is no, if they bought it in order to satisfy the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a batil contract. Not only there is no thawab in akhirah, but they will have a punishment in akhirah as well, because they carried out a contract that opposes the will and the maqsad and the goal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In case they are if they are ignorant, ignorance is different, but if they know that this mortgage is haram, then if they do it, it carries a punishment of like a man who go take a woman and go and take two shuhud, and she is not she has a wali already, she is young, like 16, 17 or something, or 13 or 14. She cannot marry herself, and she didn't marry before, and get two shuhud and write a contract. So in this case, there is this contract is no thawab in doing this this marriage. And it is even for Ahnaf, this is fasid and batil in the same time, because the wali here is a rukn. He has to agree. It's not like the two witnesses. He has to agree. So in some madhab, and for some, they say, well, it will be dealt with as a defective, and it will deem valid in order to protect the girl or the woman. And some say no, This is a rukn. It can't be. So, anyways, this is in fiqh. The details of these are in fiqh. We just kind of try to understand the usul, how they think. The usuliyun scholars, how they think about such a thing. Now we finish the declarative rulings. There are some points and benefits to be mentioned in relation to these declarative rulings. In Usul Fiqh book, in the other Usul Fiqh books, these are not mentioned like separate as benefits at the end of the declarative section, but I added this. It might be, some of it might be embedded in the discussions of the rulings themselves, and some of them might not. But I like to touch on these benefits because they are very, very important to build the mentality, the way to control the brain and the mind, the usul mind of the student, of the person who is learning, because it's a way of it's a way of seeing things, how you see it. That's the whole point. So when we talk about the first one is regarding the asbab, the cause. The cause, if normally, if we take the cause of an action, when we talk the cause, sabab, is undertaken in full, normally in normal way, in normal times, and the norm is that the results is going to happen in a complete way. If you for instance, if you take a cup of water and you are thirsty and you drink, normally you feel satisfied. خلاص. You had the water and you feel it, because you took the sabab, you took the cause complete. You drank. So also, if you want to break, like a brick, you have a brick, you want to break it. If you have the right tool, if you apply the right force and you hit it, it will break. Normally it happens. If you have the if it didn't break, then you didn't take the right cause, because it means that either the tool is not hard enough or you didn't apply enough force. But if you take the cause complete, the result will come, will happen complete right away. It happens. Like someone, for instance, what if someone come and say, I'm going to marry this lady and everything, but I'm not going to give her mirath. That will never happen. You cannot do that. Even if you put it in your mind and you said, oh, I'm marrying here, but the mirath go to my kids and stuff, it doesn't happen. The moment you die, or the person dies, the wife inherits 1/8 right away. It goes into her ownership. It doesn't need a lawyer. It doesn't need anything. 1/8 is hers right away. So if you take the right thing, which is the right cause, which is you write a correct contract, there was a wali amr, and you two agreed, and there is shuhud and everything, and the contract that, and you had your intimate relationship already, because to have mirath you have to have the intimate relationship. You have the intimate relationship, then there is no way to that you can prevent her from getting her mirath. There is no way on earth to do that. She has to be divorced in order to do that, which is another action committed by Allah. I mean, not commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to invalidate the mirath. So, like if you make a divorce to a woman, to a wife, directly the nafaqa is on you. You can't say there is no nafaqa. No. There is nafaqa. If you don't, there's a possibility you don't pay it, but that doesn't make it not an obligation on you, and it is in your dhimma. It's in your it's in your honor. It's you owe it. You owe it. It's like it's like a dain, a debt on you. Like what if somebody wants to defeat, if somebody come and invaded us and we want to defeat this person, but this army or this country who is occupying us, then we cannot do that except if we make the right preparation. We do وَأَعُدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ, and prepare for them what you can in order to ترهبون به عدو الله, in order to terrorize your enemy from coming to you. You don't terrorize them if they don't come to you, but if they come to you in order to invade you, then you terrorize them, of course. So in your country, so this is this is what the asbab, one thing that is a benefit of al-asbab. There is another point which is very, very important, absolutely, which is, what about doing al-asbab al-mamnu'a, the prohibited causes. Prohibited causes means a cause that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't make for you to carry out in order to reach a specific result. He didn't make this a way to do it, like zina, like adultery. I mean, if you commit adultery in order to get a son or a daughter, then this is a corrupt sabab, a corrupt cause, and the kid who comes out of the wedlock is not. Of course, he is your son, and you has to claim it as your son, but it will be upon him this thing all his life, and of course you will have the punishment of adultery, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't make adultery is a cause to build a family. It's not a way to build family. You have to marry in order to build a family. Like al-amr bil-ma'ruf wal-nahy al-munkar. What about ordering the right and preventing the bad? This huge command in Islam, al-ma'ruf wal-nahy al-munkar. Or jihad. What about that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this a way, a sabab mashru'. This is the right cause in order to prevent your enemy from coming to your country, and in order to prevent the bad people in your country from doing bad things, like women walk around without hijab, or singing or music, or all these munkar, the sins that committed publicly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made al-amr bil ma'ruf and nahy al munkar in order to stop. It's the right cause to take. It's the right cause to make jihad, if you prepare for it, in order to expel the enemy that invaded your land. Uh, although one might say, but people will get killed when we make jihad, when we make amr bil ma'ruf nahy al munkar. People might be go to jail or imprisoned, or harmed in some way, or there will be fight in between the two fighting the two opposite factions, those who have the bad party, and those who are making amr bil ma'ruf nahy al munkar and saying, no, you cannot have this party, you cannot do that, because in this way it has to be an Islamic way, no ikhtilat, no mix between men and women. There will be mafasid, there will be bad that comes out of using the right cause. Although you are using the right cause, but there will be a result of it, bad things will happen. So we'll say, see, even the right cause, it will bring about a bad outcome sometime. So as the bad causes, because we said the bad causes bring about bad consequences. So the good cause sometimes bring about bad cause. But the point here is that the mashru' or the valid causes, the mashru' causes, they bring about bad consequences that happens in the way of the so the point is the mashru', the good causes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made as a cause to achieve certain results. The bad things that might come along with it are always less than the benefits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made when we actually take these causes. So even if few people or some people died in jihad, so that's better than having the whole country occupied, and we be as slaves to the occupier. So even qatl al-nafs, like to die, for a person to die is better than all his people to be subjected to occupation and what comes with this, or if somebody come and try to break in and take my money or attack my wife and kids, so if I defended him and I got killed in the process, then this is a sabab. It's a legitimate cause. The legitimate causes, the benefits of the legitimate causes are always more than the bad things that can happen because of taking these legitimate cause, and the opposite, the illegitimate causes, which make the actions invalid. It might get a good things in the way, because you will have a kid. If somebody commit adultery, you will have a kid. If you take a land, coerced somebody to give you your land, or take it by force, then you will own the land. But the contract you wrote under coercion, it's invalid, because or if you have riba in the contract, yeah, you will live in the house and everything, but the bad that comes with doing the riba is way much than I saying I own a house. So that's why when people take the legitimate action, they should overlook the bad things that might come along with it, because it is not maqsuda, it is not aimed or the goal of Sharia to have these bad things. They only come along like when you have a surgery, or they have to cut the leg of somebody, they cut it because otherwise he will die. So the legitimate cause should be taken without considering the bad consequences, as long as it's a legitimate mashru' cause. And people should not take the illegitimate causes, even it will bring about a good result, and some benefits going to happen and occur, because a person took this invalid causes or illegitimate causes. We should directly not consider doing it right away and forget about the benefit that might come with it, because it will outweigh the benefits. It will outweigh the benefits definitely, because this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevented us. He said this is illegitimate cause. It's not a valid cause, it's illegitimate cause. Do not take it. It prevents us from taking this cause to achieve this result. To achieve result, there are other causes you can take. That's why let's take one example, because we almost finished, or should be finished. Let's take one fast example before we finish. Look at like in these countries that they claim that they have won and stuff, like in Syria now. What did they do? They said, okay, if we announce that we will follow Sharia and we are Muslims, and we put that in our constitution, we will be subjected to international punishments, and they will seize the country, they will attack us with bombs, they will hit us, they will do this, they will do that. So in order to avoid this bad things from happening, we will not announce that we actually will follow Sharia in our life, and we will follow the man-made laws. So they took the man-made laws, which is asbab mamnu'a, which is illegitimate meanings, in order to achieve peace and prosperity and money and lifting the sanctions and all these things. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Why? because you took the wrong way. You took the wrong cause. You didn't follow the cause that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, recognize laws. Be a Muslim. Put in the constitution that Sharia is your only law. And you are not going to make wala with kuffar like you're doing, and all these things. Then you might be subjected to bad. You might face some war, some killing, some destruction. But it doesn't matter, because this is how it. This is the test in people's life, to follow the right and the correct and the legitimate causes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made cause in order to achieve prosperity. To achieve prosperity is through Sharia. It's not through the man-made. But they say, oh, after we follow the man-made laws, and in few years we will have money and everything, then we will announce Sharia. What confusion? What is this? What does it mean? Why you need Sharia then? What Sharia does, if you achieved your results, your good results, as you think you will, through illegitimate and non-Sharia laws, why do you want Sharia then? There's no meaning. But they don't have the belief that they will not reach these results. That's the point. And none of the Muslim countries that actually did that reaches the right result. Look at Egypt. Look at Jordan. They're all poor. They never reached prosperity because it will never come with al-asbab al-mamnu'a, with the prevented and illegal causes that Allah made illegal. And having said that, we are inshallah to stop now, and we will continue next week. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.